Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Here's what's on the bench today. So we're looking at an EVH copy. Somebody built this thing, and you guys know we've all done it before. We've all put these things together. This thing is ready for some strings. It's just a restring video on this one. So the customer wants a pack of 9s. So let's get some strings out and let's string this thing up. Here we go. Okay, so let's test on these electronics a little bit right here. Okay, so just a single humbucker with the tone knob on there. He's got a whammy bar in here that's missing the tip. I might have one of those. But it seems like the electronics are working nicely on it. So let's throw some strings on it. Customer wanted a pack of 9s. So the #1 selling string in the world are Ernie Ball Super Slinkies. Who I don't know about in the world, but in the United States, Ernie Ball Super Slinky 9s. Everybody loves these strings. Out of Coachella, California, Ernie Ball. Okay, yeah, and like I was saying, I think I personally have built maybe 3 of these, where one time my guitar player in a band that I was in, I was playing bass, and he painted a body for me. So I know I have one of these hanging on my wall at my house, and it's been hanging there for probably 6 years. And then I've got one hanging in the store here that's been hanging here for 4 years. But once in a while, I even took the one that I own that looks just like this, and I took it to the Sunday Night Blues Jam. And so it was kind of fun, but I don't know, it's kind of a fun hobby. I kind of recommend it. Guys enjoy doing it. And you can do it to a Squire. You can get yourself a, you know, a $60 Squire somewhere or whatever. And especially if you have one that's painted black. You get a black Squire, and then you mask over the black. Spray paint it white, then you mask over some of the white and stripe it, and then you paint it red. That's exactly what Eddie did back in the day. I think Eddie's was a boogie body, so it wasn't a Squire back then. Squire wasn't around when Eddie put his Frankenstrat together. There was a company called Boogie, and they made bodies. So Ed's was a, I don't think he liked being called Eddie, but Ed's was a boogie body from around 1980. And he had a couple of different necks on it. And he ended up putting that Kramer neck on it. And so there were people that modded their guitars, like, what's his name? Frank Zappa. Frank would modify his guitars, but they didn't, like, really become modern, like, you know, nobody really knew that he was modifying his guitar. It didn't become a, you know, pop culture or anything like that. But Eddie, when he modified his guitar, and he's like, hey, I want a humbucker in the bridge position. And then he would slant it. Now this pickup, it wasn't really cut out here enough where I could slant it in there. But it still looks cool. And this front pickup looks really good. Got a note switch in here. It's been aged nicely. This is a customer's guitar. Don't call me about this one and say, hey man, sell me that. Yeah, because I don't own this guitar. better if you could have a Floyd on it, but then you're kind of getting into a lot more work because you have to cut this whole portion out, and yeah, there's a lot of work when it comes to putting a Floyd Rose on that. So most of them, you still see the old 6-screw. I've got a guitar. Let me show you one that I've had here in the store for a long time. Okay, so let me set this to the side for just a second. So I've got this thing that's been floating around in my store for a couple of years ago. I had a friend named Rob that was painting a bunch of guitars. And so he kind of bumblebeed this thing. This is 1979 right there. It's got a decal of Eddie's signature right there. That might be hard for you guys to see, but and there's a lot of nice glitter in this. And he did really good. This got kind of a nice big block in there. Don't really dig that this has the plastic spacer under it. And then again, the pickguard, it's not really cut out because there was this big swimming pool route in this whole guitar, and so that's why the whole pickguard is on there. I think it's got the volume, and then I think this tone's not hooked up to anything. But this is just one of those tributes to Eddie Van Halen, the great Ed, and just kind of a fun guitar to have. I put a ZIMM'S sticker on the back of it, but just kind of a fun tribute to Eddie Van Halen. The neck's not real good on this one. The string height is really high. Started life as a Squire. It's kind of a fun thing to do. Put a tribute to Ed together out of a Squire. If you're into painting, and if you don't care that, you know, and with how they turn out, if you've got a little free time to spend, you want to just put something together just for the hell of it, it's kind of fun. And that's exactly what my customer is doing with this one. He's just having some fun with it. He painted this one himself. It doesn't have any gloss, and you can feel the different layers on it. But this part looks really good. It looks really good. He did a great job. And he striped the neck and everything up here, so a lot of guys won't paint the neck or the headstock. Oh, I'm noticing that there's no string trees on this one, so I'll need to find some string trees. At least one for the B and the high E string. See what I got. I'll find one around here. Thanks to you guys, my viewers, for sending me small and your old and guitar parts that you don't use anymore. That's why I have different things laying around, so I think I can search and find a string tree that I can throw on here. Okay, let me look for a string tree. There we go. And again, thanks to my viewers for sending me old random parts that they don't want anymore. They have no use for it. Some nice gentleman sent me that, and this is going to work perfectly right here. I just gotta, let me get my drill. I'm just gonna eyeball this. Okay, so I've just taken a Sharpie and I'm just gonna put a little dot right there in between those two strings, kind of in between these two. This drill bit might be a little bit big. Make sure we don't drill all the way through it. Oh, good. Because that's happened. Okay, let's clip all these strings off of here and get them out of the way. Okay. And for some reason, this is my favorite screwdriver, believe it or not. It has a good tip on it. Okay, let's see if this will work. This is kind of a long screw. Move these strings down out of the way a little bit. There we go. You know what? I think that's pretty good. There's a little bit of a bend in that string tree. It's kind of high on this side. Wonder if I could knock that down a little. Yeah, the string tree's a little weird looking. But let me just try it one more time to make sure it's down in there good. Okay. Not too bad. It looks a little crooked, but it seems like it's down in there good, and it should work. Let me see if I have a tuner here. So Ed didn't play a regular set of strings. He had, I think he played a 40 through a 9, but I think he had a 9, 13, 17, I don't know. They make different string gauges. And Ed used different strings than Ernie Ball makes. But some guys, leave in the comments what the strings were, the different sizes. I thought Ed had a 40, and I think, I don't know. Most channels, they don't show you the tuning. I go ahead and show it. Okay, so his whammy bar is missing the plastic tip that goes on there. So I have a bunch of whammy bars and different things here. Okay, here we go. So I think a black one would look good on there. Let's see if this will actually go on there. These babies are sometimes, they're hard to get on there. But there we go. Okay, that's looking good. Alright, so let me just do this. Let me just throw it up on my knee and kind of see how she's doing here. You know, it feels pretty good. He did a great job with his neck. It feels nice and sanded really good. He kind of did these little kind of things down here. He painted the whole headstock. He's got Fender branded tuners on there. So a lot of good stuff's happening here. This one turned out really good. I think he's going to be happy with how it's playing. So I'm going to move on to the next guitar. We're keeping the theme the same. I'm glad you guys are still tuned in on this video. Let's go to the second guitar. Hold on, let me set this one to the side. Wait until you guys see this one. Alright, look at this thing. So now on the bench, my same customer has this Flying V. Look at that. It's an old Charvel with the old toothpaste logo, right? And he's got this thing all Eddie Van Halen'd out. You know, Scott Ian from Anthrax has a Rhodes V. I guess this would be a Rhodes V. But show that picture of Scott Ian. There it is. Scott Ian has one of these Randy Rhodes style Vs, all Eddie Van Halen striped out. But this one, again, this is my customer's guitar. It's in for a restring. It's got the locking nut up here. It's got one of the locks is a little bit weird. But I think I can find a piece to replace that. Kind of cool. It's very dirty. I don't think I need to clean it. It makes noise, just not really good noise. I'll spray that out. I've got some spray cleaner that I can spray the electronics out. Oh, he's got the quarter on there. Can't see what year that is. I think that Ed had a 19... Oh, shoot. I think it was a 1973 quarter on his. I could be wrong. But if memory serves me, it was an 83. Leave in the comments what year the quarter was. Alright. So let's get into this thing. I can see that our bridge is way out of adjustment. I'm going to do a couple of things. But I think our first move... Oh, is this like the... Oh, is this where the string goes into the back? Yeah, it is. So this will be easy. Take these locking nuts off of here. And we will pull these strings off of here. And I wonder if I should... Let's try the trem block. There we go. Oh, and this needs tightened up. Gotta get in there and try to figure that out. Okay, so I think the strings slide right out the back. Yeah, see that? So it's kind of one of those bridges that was popular because you didn't have those little blocks in there. But then also when you completely dive bomb, there's a chance that that string will move around in there. So some people didn't like it because of that. But when you're doing string change outs and stuff, it's kind of nice to have it. Oh, but now that when they get all crusty and you can't push the string out, what are you supposed to do? Let me see if this high E string will go in there and push on that. There it goes. There it is. So this thing it's okay that it's dirty and crusty, but I'm going to try to at least get these saddles in a position to where the guitar looks like it's close to being intonated. So I think what I will do is I'm going to put a little bit of, I've got some 3-in-1 oil. So let me kind of put a little bit of that on these. Whoa, that's way too much. Because I need to loosen those. And possibly move those around a little bit. Okay, good. Back this up a lot. There we go. I'm actually going to move this screw to the back position. I think it's way too far forward for your low E string. And let's hope that it goes back in. There we go. Kind of like that. Where that's setting now. Just going to see if these are all snug now. Okay, that one's good. There we go. I got a little out of that. Okay, that one seems tight. That one seems tight. And then our high E string, oh, is super loose. There we go. Okay. And then I'll take what's left of this paper towel just to get some of that off of there now, some of that excess. Okay, what the hell? Let's spray on it. Okay. Oops, some of his paint's coming off. Okay. Okay, so the fret ends feel good on this guitar. But I'm just going to, I'm not going to clean the fretboard because it's got all that grime on everything on there. That looks good on a relic guitar, but I'm just going to take my fretboard guard and a little 1200 grit sandpaper just to put a little shine on these frets. Just a couple of swipes. This is not intended to level and crown or anything like that. This is just to get a couple inches of dirt, a little bit of the dirt off the fretboard, or off of the fret. This is intended just to get a little dirt off the frets. Okay, let's look under here and see if this will come loose. Oh, what is going on here? Okay, so it's going to be kind of hard to get in here and spray this. Oh, no, that's not it. Yeah, I don't know how to get this top piece off of here. This stuff is really in there, so there's nothing that I can do about that. I'll have to let my customer know. That thing ain't not coming off. Now we can still kind of spray this 5-way switch out. Is it a 5 or is it a 3? It's a 5. That seems okay. Could have maybe been a 3-way switch. Okay, let's see now. Let me tighten these back up. Okay, so I can still spray. This is what I use, electronic spray cleaner. I can still kind of get in here on the top. And a lot of times on 5-way switches or 3-way switches, this works just fine to get whatever little bit of dust out of there. Make these babies work good again. I notice that the tip is a little loose. Sometimes I can just take a little tiny bit of some tape. Stick it on the top here. And then put this tip down over top of that. There we go. Yeah, some of these older guitars, I had a Charvel with these same pickups. And sometimes they just kind of go dead on you. Oh yeah. It's not really wired properly. So down in this position, we've got the back pickup, which is a single coil. That's not going to sound good. Then in the second position, we got both of them. That's probably your best position. Third position, middle. We have just the middle one right here. Fourth position, these two. Fifth position, these two again. So it's got a little wiring difficulties. But my job is to restring it. But I will let him know. And he said eventually he's going to get a new plate on here and he'll be able to fix that up. So let's grab some strings. This is going to get a set of 10s. Today's string choice. Today's string choice, Ernie Ball, regular slinky 10 through 46, custom gauge, nickel wound guitar strings, made in USA, world's #1 electric guitar string, regular slinkies, Ernie Ball. Here we go. So these go in really easily compared to your regular Floyd Rose style guitar, because they just go right in the back here and slip right onto you like that. You got to kind of pull on them to make sure that they're seated in there nicely. But this was sort of a quicker way to load the Floyd Rose. And they didn't last very long. People complained about them. Because like I said, when guys would dive bomb, the string could, you know, come loose, right? And even come out the back. So they had their issues. But if you're not a crazy dive bomber guitar player, then you know, they're fine. Okay, I got the strings on it. I got the bar on there. It's close to being in standard tuning. Let's put the notch straight edge on it and see if we have any relief in the neck. There is some. So let's tighten the truss rod. Okay, so I got the truss rod cover off, and that's pretty cool. He striped that. I got my wrench in here. I got a little tag on it to help me remember. This is one that also fits on a PRS. So there we go. We'll snug that tight. Would have been nice if I didn't have strings in the way here. But let's see if I can grab onto this and snug that baby tight a little bit. There we go. Okay, and then carefully pull it out so we don't damage our strings. Okay, now let's just go back to here and look at our string height now. Our neck, ooh, that looks really good right there. Little tiny bit. I think I can give it one more little tiny turn. Let me see if I can do this. This is a good quality Charvel from back in the day. This was an imported one. But whenever you see a nut on the end of the truss rod right there, you know that's good quality. You know that's good quality right there. Very nice. Let's put the truss rod cover back on. Okay, let's just throw it up on my knee here. It's nice. Let me go take it out front. We'll plug it into an amp, make some noise. Alright, let's see what this thing sounds like.